The Justice Department says it is investigating former FBI head James Comey and John Brennan, who led the FBI and CIA when it looked into claims of Russian collusion during the 2016 election. Earlier this week, President Trump called them, quote, crooked as hell, and said, quote, maybe they have to pay a price. Let's bring in Saul Weisenberg, former Deputy Independent Counsel for Investigations into the Whitewater and Monica Lewinsky scandals. He is also a Fox News contributor. Saul, I want to play for you what James Comer, the head of the Oversight Committee, had to say to Sean Hannity the other night regarding these investigations. Listen.
Brennan and Comey perjured themselves to Congress. They should be held accountable. The committees where they testified and lied to Congress, which you said is a felony, they need to have criminal referrals. They have done so much to destroy the confidence and reputation of our intelligence community. This can be reversed with some accountability.
So, Saul, what do you think? Should they be prosecuted?
It's going to be very difficult to prosecute them, John, because the statute of limitations has run on almost anything you could prosecute them for, with the possible exception of perjury. There has been some testimony by each of them, apparently, I know by Brennan, within the last 5 years, and that's statute of limitation period for federal charges of perjury. So difficult, but not impossible. The work should have been done in the first Trump administration. That's when much of the activities that should be condemned, that Comey especially was engaged in, that's when it happened. And you can't prosecute somebody when you're beyond the statute of limitations.
If there were to be a prosecution, that would be in federal court, right? And you'd be looking at a jury pool from the Washington, D.C. area?
Almost certainly, almost all the testimony occurred in a congressional setting. So you would be looking at the D.C. jury pool, which is overwhelmingly Democratic. And if reports are to be believed, DOJ couldn't even get a D.C. grand jury to vote for a true bill against Andrew McCabe after, if you remember, Inspector General Michael Horowitz, who almost never advocates prosecution of anybody, sent a very strong criminal referral on Andrew McCabe to DOJ, and to not even get a grand jury indictment, that is quite amazing. So you're going to have a very hostile jury pool and potentially a hostile judge. And by the way, it's not easy to prove perjury. Might look easy until you try to bring a case and prove it. There are a lot of available defenses.
On another matter, the House has been trying to get information out of Joe Biden's White House doctor, Dr. O'Connor. He took the Fifth Amendment. Now, a lot of people look at that and say, oh, the guy's got to be guilty. Would you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with it at all. The Supreme Court has made clear that the Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination protects the innocent as well as the guilty, because you could have a very vindictive or artful prosecutor asking tricky questions, and so it protects the innocent as well as the guilty. However, I do believe that when you're asked whether or not you were asked to lie about the president's health and you refuse to answer, that's something you can draw conclusions from. But the man himself should not be condemned for that. It just means he has a good lawyer.
Yeah, and you also say he can't be compelled divulge, to cross the line on doctor-patient privilege, right?
Well, that has to be litigated. And the same thing with the privilege against self-incrimination. If Congress wants to ask DOJ to hold him in contempt, like the Congress asked the Biden Justice Department to prosecute Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro, and DOJ agreed to do so, then it can go to court and be litigated. The Fifth Amendment issue could be litigated. Another thing the Congress can do is they can give the doctor immunity. They can say, we immunize you, and so now you can come in and tell us what you were asked to do, whether you were asked to lie to the president. Keep in mind, where did that lie go? Let's say he did lie for the president. Did that end up in an official report? That could be a crime under 18 U.S.C. 1001. So again, we talk about criminal defense attorneys talk about criminal exposure. He certainly has exposure here, whether or not he did anything wrong, and it's certainly wise for him to plead the Fifth.
Saul Weisenberg. Saul, thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, John.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.